What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to discuss the video that is circulating on social media of foreigners destroying a building in Johannesburg. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know, hate speech is always welcome. Holler. People, I am all for one Africa, one African parliament, one African military, one African police force, one Africa president, one Africa parliament, one Africa government, one Africa everything, because I am African and I believe in Africa. I don't see any other continent in the same light that I see Africa in, with all its problems, with all its flaws, with everything that Africa's got. I still believe in Africa. And I don't care which part of Africa I'm in, I just believe in Africa. Right. You can judge by the title, or you can see by the title of this video that immigrants, I don't want to say illegal because I don't know if they're here legally or illegally, all right? But we just like to just throw around that term illegal immigrants just because we see people selling on the streets, or all of a sudden they are illegal immigrants. And I just hate that, you know? So let's just say our African brothers and our local brothers, I have to be honest, because I honestly believe that immigrants, our brothers and sisters from other countries in Africa, I truly believe that they do not commit crimes alone without the assistance of local South Africans. I truly, honestly believe that. I cannot fathom that a Nigerian drug dealer, because everyone says Nigerians are drug dealers, so let's just use that as an example, right? I cannot for the life of me believe that a Nigerian drug dealer will import drugs from, let's say, Colombia or Brazil, wherever in South America. It will come to his house in wherever he's staying, Sea Point, Parklands, Table View, Camps Bay, wherever. And you telling me those drugs are going to be coming delivered from Colombia, Brazil by a Nigerian? How does it enter into South Africa? Are you telling me Nigerians are at the customs? Nigerians are at the borders? Nigerians are at the seaports? Nigerians are at the airports? Then how are those drugs transported from these points of entry? Before we get to the transportation, who clears these goods? Again, I'm assuming it's Nigerians, right? So it's Nigerians who are the clearing agents, the customs agents, all these people that deal with import and export goods, right? So I'm assuming it's going to be Nigerians only, right? Nigerians. Okay. Who's driving the drugs now to the stash houses, to the warehouses, to wherever they stash the drugs? Is it Nigerians? Okay. Who's providing residences for these Nigerians? I'm assuming it's other Nigerians, right? So the houses they're living in, all that was they're renting from Nigerians. It's all Nigerians, right? Okay, who are they selling these drugs to in South Africa? Again, assuming it's Nigerians. It's Nigerians. They're selling these drugs to Nigerians. I mean, why else would they be selling drugs to any other people? I mean, it's Nigerians. The Nigerians are doing drugs. Nigerians are selling drugs. It's Nigerians are doing Nigerians. No. So that building was being demolished by our African brothers, right? Would it be fair for me to say like it was only our African brothers doing it? So you telling me that our local brothers were not there? So this okay. So let's assume our local brothers were not there. So you telling me in Joburg during the day, broad daylight, our African brothers are here demolishing buildings, and no local person even decided to even try and call the police. No local person came to try and stop them. No local person tried to do anything. It just so happened that there was no South Africans on site. I mean, this thing never took. This thing couldn't have taken seconds. It had to take at least a few minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at least. Let's even if we cut it down. Let's just say it took about 15 minutes. Okay, let's even give or take 15 minutes during broad daylight. You tell me in the 15 minutes that it took to break down that building, that structure that they had barricaded, that they had actually built up, that they had to destroy and demolish to create that. Are you telling me that there was no South Africans on site? No local person on site. No one could call the JMPD. No one could call the police. No local person did nothing to do anything. Are you telling me that it was just our African brothers who were there doing whatever they wanted to do for an entire 30 minutes, for an entire hour? So a large group of people in Johannesburg can actually congregate, even if we just say it's African brothers congregating. No locals are suspicious of anything going on. They hear noises, they don't say anything. So it's just our African brothers doing it all by themselves. No local police, no local JMPD, no metro, no nothing. Yeah. But yet, here we are quick to say, look at what these immigrants are doing. Look at what these queries are. Look at this. Look at this. People, nothing happens in South Africa without the participation of South Africans. Yes, it may have been locals at the forefront of demolishing that building and breaking down that barricade wall that was built to actually prevent them from entering again. But I can guarantee you that it was also partly South Africans who are also there to house the goods as well. And they were also part and parcel of it. If not, I can guarantee you that there were South Africans also just looking on, egging on, and recording for content instead of calling the law enforcement, right? So again, South Africans, we were complicit. But why do we just now point fingers at the foreign brothers, our African brothers? Why? I mean, we were there recording. We don't know who was recording. Let's just say, for example, it must have been one of the African brothers recording. But are you telling me that in that whole street there was no local South African? No South African recorded anything. No local South African called the police. No local South African felt, oh, these African brothers are demolishing our buildings. So let me try and do something. No one did that. Okay, so no one did it. So the illegal immigrants destroyed a building in South Africa. Now we're shouting and screaming, illegal immigrants. Look what they're doing in our country. They wouldn't dare do this in their country. Their country, they'd be banned. Okay. So it shows that they have a proactive police force, a proactive metro force, a proactive government that prevents them from doing such things in their countries. So what does that say about our country? What does that say about our police force, our metro police, our government? If people can come and demolish a building within 30 minutes to an hour, please tell me, what does that say about our government and our law enforcement? So, as much as we like to point fingers at our African brothers and say this and that, we first need to point fingers at ourselves and say, are our structures functioning to full capacity? Is our law enforcement capable of dealing with such issues? Is our government aware, on the pulse? Is our government supplying the necessary tools needed for law enforcement to act upon such activities? We can't just keep blaming our African brothers and sisters for whatever is happening in our country. We are the gatekeepers of South Africa. We are the ones who are supposed to control, conduct, and direct the narrative that South Africa is to project to the world. So, if our African brothers and sisters are coming to South Africa and they dictating to us what should happen, then what's the point of us being in South Africa? So what's our role in South Africa then? So why are we here if our African brothers and sisters are dictating the direction our country should take? I mean, it's sad to say that for too long and for no apparent reason that we keep pointing fingers at other people other than at ourselves. I mean, how many how many of us actually take the time out to report suspicious activity? I mean, how many of us actually take the time out to act upon suspicious activity? I mean, I will always hear people complaining about Nigerian drug dealers selling drugs to our kids and how they're using our girls. If we know this, how come we can't stop it? Why are we not stopping it? Why why are we waiting for our useless law enforcement that do absolutely nothing? I mean, if we have to look at it, I'm almost 100% sure that there are more South Africans than African brothers and sisters in the country. I'm almost 100% sure about that. Almost 100% sure. And yet, we have this small, well, small in comparison to our population, but it's quite a large number of foreigners in South Africa, right? African brothers and sisters. So I'm I'm at a loss for words that a small group of people, no matter how many millions they are, right? But it's small compared to the population of South Africa. I'm surprised that 60, we classed as 66 people, 66 million people in South Africa. I'm even shocked that, I don't know, there's about what? Let's just say, give or take, there's what? About 10 million foreigners in South Africa. I'm surprised that a group of 66 million stand by, do nothing, complain. I'm not saying you need to take the law into your own hands and kill, but dude, if you can drive out the undesirables from your community, right, that will go a long way. You push them into another community. That community does the same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing. Where do you think those people are going to end up? Out of South Africa. This is the way it works. But you see, we don't do such things. What we do is we mind our own business. We take out our phones, we record for content, and then what do? Complain on social media. But we see the thing happening right in front of our very eyes, and we do nothing. But we complain and we record for content, and it makes for great news. But yet, the problems still persist. So, who is to blame? The African brothers and sisters or us? That's the question of the day. Next, we get into the pros. You know how we go, man. I don't think there's any pros in this, but hey, we've got to find a pro, right? We just got to. Holler. Phew, man. People, there is no pros when our African brothers and sisters break the law in South Africa. There can be no pro in that. There is no pro when our African brothers and sisters break the law, ignore the law, disobey the law, change the law, uh, totally take the law into their own hands. I'm using all these different fancy words, right? But what I'm basically trying to say is it's so unfair and it's not right that our African brothers and sisters can come to South Africa and do as they please. We need to be respectful. They need to be mindful. They need to abide by the law. Well, obviously, it's not going to happen because obviously every nation has its bad apples. And the ones that are doing the bad things, there's just no pro for them being in the country, breaking the law. As small as an incident is, let's just give an example of, let's give an example of opening a tavern without a license. I know it's not a big thing because people drink alcohol, they all that, but you're breaking the law. And that's a small thing, but it's bringing in big money that could then get you the license. But you're not going to use that money to get the license because that license costs money and you want to keep all the money you can. You just want to, so you're not going to register it for license. You're not going to register your tavern for a license because you just want to keep making the money. You don't want to pay for that license because it's a bit costly, right? Small things like that, which are actually not small things, they're actually big things because it involves business. And illegal sale of alcohol is not a light thing by any means. We saw what happened in the Eastern Cape. You know, school children died after alcohol poisoning. Stuff could happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, there is no pro when our African brothers and sisters come to South Africa and break the law. There's just no pro. Next, we get into the cons. You know how we do. Holler. People, the cons of our African brothers and sisters coming to break the law in South Africa has big repercussions, not just on South Africa, but on the rest of the continent and the world at large, because it gives out this negative perception that South Africa is a free for all and South Africa is lawless and it's a banana republic and South Africans are useless because you can go there and do whatever you like and no one says anything, nobody bats an eyelid, right? As much as I love Africa, as much as I truly believe in the rebirth of Africa and everything that the West detests about Africa are the very things that I love about Africa, right? As much as I want to see one Africa, one parliament, one government, one, everything, just one Africa, right? We have to start drawing lines in the sand and saying we need to safeguard our current borders as they are, right? Before we merge. But before we merge, we first need to clean out our nation states, rid them of all this illegal stuff. I know it's not going to be an overnight thing. I know it's not going to be a completely clean thing, but at least if we can weed out, clean up, do all the things that are meant for a country to function normally and exceptionally, then we need to start at the very bottom at grassroots level. We need to start at community level. We need to be in the communities cleaning house. We need to be rooting out, weeding out all these undesirables. As much as we are African, we cannot be entertaining bad apples that are coming to poison our country and destroying property and doing whatever the hell they feel is right for them because they don't want to do things our way, they want to do it their way. It just doesn't work like that. I mean, if you go visiting any other country on the continent, you're not going to go there with your South African ways and do your thing. Well, in South Africa, we do this. In South Africa, we do that. No, when you're there, you abide by the laws. You abide by the rules. I totally agree that South Africa is an attractive destination for all and sundry. But at the end of the day, South Africa is not a banana republic. And I would like to really say this in closing. As much as I want to attack and blame our foreign brothers and sisters for what they're doing, the blame and the attack should actually go to us, South Africans, because we allow it to. We wait and stand for law enforcement to come and do a simple thing. We are not there to arrest anybody. Our job is not to handcuff or tie someone up and no, we know how the law works. You gotta bring proof, you gotta do that. We're not here for that. We just want to have street justice. That's all we need to do. All I'm saying is, you see of African brother or sister doing something illegal or something undesirable in your community, let's mobilize. Let's drive that individual out. We see another one doing something, we drive him out. The next community sees the same thing happening, they drive that person out, drive them up, up, up. Either they go up north into Zimbabwe, Botswana, Mozambique, Namibia, wherever out there, or we can drive them south into the sea. It doesn't matter as long as we get rid of the undesirables. That's all I'm saying. So, as a community, as a people, as a nation, we South Africans need to stand up and start defending our country and not just wait on law enforcement because they are overwhelmed and they cannot deal with every little issue. So, where we can stand up, let's stand up and let's fight for our communities because by the time we open our eyes, our communities are going to be run over by all these bad, rotten apples. That's what I'm saying. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know, hate speech is always welcome. But more importantly, we are family. Holler.